And that ding indicates that we are once again live. Very exciting time because it's the Naked After Show, clothing optional, and I'm joined with Robert Wallace and Cliff. Skydaddy, I don't have you on G+, so I'm going to drop the link and hopefully you get it. So I was looking for you, but I couldn't find you before I had to get the show started.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm not allowed to invite people. Because I just added him on G+.
Yeah, send him an invite, will you?
I will.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a guy who seems to be desperate to take his shirt off.
Yeah, he was in a big hurry to take his shit off, which is, that's fine. Hey, it's Naked After Show. Let's do it.
I'm going to elect to keep mine on.
I've seen you half naked before.
I know. I just prefer not to.
You're so British, aren't you? You're just so British.
Yes. Except for the whole football thing, because I didn't care.
You didn't give a shit. I thought it was interesting.
It's interesting if you like it, but to be honest, I don't enjoy watching sport. I'll play sport, but just watching sport I find quite boring. I only watch two, and that's Formula One and American football.
Why you pick all the American sports? Why you pick all the Yankee sports?
When American football was quite big in the 80s, I watched it with my dad. And there weren't many things that me and my dad did together, and that was one of them. And so, the first game I watched, it was the Philadelphia Eagles versus someone. It might have been the Salad Cowboys or someone like that. And I thought, I like their uniform better. That was about it, really. I quite like turquoise, so Anyway, so as a result, I went with them, and then when I started going to America in the late '90s, I just thought one of my friends was into it. We were traveling over together, and it's like, so I started watching it again. I went for the team that I liked before.
Sure.
So they were doing pretty good when I started liking them again, and now they haven't been doing quite so well last few years.
So we got to be a Seahawks fan.
Well, I'm not a Ned. I'm not the kind of people who jump from team to team just because they're good now.
Well, neither am I. I've been a Seahawks fan since '76, but they are good now. Finally.
Now, here's a question. So I don't even know where you live. Do you live in Seattle?
Well, I live in Tacoma. It's about 30 miles south.
Right. Okay. So that's fair enough. I was going to say, because what makes you a Seattle fan? Is it just because you live in Seattle, or there are other people that just I like Seattle. That's it.
Well, no, that's actually a very good question. I am a Seattle fan because my dad used to work at the railroad, which is right by where the Kingdome was built. And all of 74, 73, 74, he would come home, and he's a huge football fan. He's going, they're building the Kingdome. We're getting a football team, and just every day we're getting updates on how the Kingdome was being built and everything. Finally, the season came, 76 to Seahawks, and he was so excited. I'm 6 years old, and that was something me and my dad bonded over, was watching the Seattle Seahawks.
No, you guys, just real quick, you guys keep talking. Yeah. I have highlighted myself in the video feed, so you guys keep talking, but I will be the main focus, and I have to do something for Alex Greco.
Go ahead.
All right, this is my friend Alex. You guys just keep talking.
Yeah, but that was the whole thing, is the whole bonding with dad. So I understand that, and but while that just makes this whole football conversation creepy. But yeah, I totally understand that, and it's just it was one thing we bonded up until he died. We always had the Seahawks to talk about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so it sounds like my dad kind of relationship as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so I totally get that.
Oh, Alex, you lucky guy.
What's this? Oh no.
Hey, what's up, Lenny?
Oh God, no! Come on.
Hey, I heard you guys talking about me earlier.
Oh yeah, it's hi Pillbox.
God damn, he is good.
Pillbox, what's going on, man? What are you?
How are you gentlemen doing today?
We're doing great. Are you going to be nice, or are you going to be a cunt?
How am I a cunt, Lenny?
Well, you're shouty, ranty. You don't listen. You don't know
under
whose biology.
Under whose worldview am I a cunt, Lenny?
Mine.
If we can get a consensus in this room as to whether or not Pillbox is a cunt, can we call him a cunt? All right. So
can I use 2 hands to vote?
No, only one vote. We're doing this democratic. Bob, what do you say?
He is a cunt only in a nasty cunt way.
Sure.
Yes.
So any positive inflection of the word cunt.
Yeah, see, that's nice. That's nice. See, this is you atheist.
Sky Daddy.
I would like to pose that I've never met the guy personally. I've seen what I would call cuntish behavior on his behalf. But for me to actually call him a cunt, I would have to meet him.
That's
call him a cunt to his face before I called him a cunt behind his back.
That's the problem with you atheists.
We're just going to say that that's a vote for yes, he's a cunt. Okay, that's fine. Moving on.
All right, so
that's 4 votes for cunt and 1 vote for fuck you.
So I have something to show you guys. I'd like to get your opinion on.
Yeah, please.
So, what does this look like to you?
A shell.
A shell, that's right. Very good, Lenny. It's a shell, all right? Do you see that?
I can see the shell.
Guess how old the shell is, Lenny?
I don't care.
6,000 years.
6,000, yeah, very good. Very good, Robert. Actually, about 4,000. That's when the flood was. And see, here's the problem. Here's the problem. I bought this fossil, right? And it says it's 350 million years old. See, that is not right.
What's wrong with it?
That looks like the word of God to me.
Well, what's not right about it is that carbon dating is false. It's pseudoscience.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
There's no fucking carbon in it.
Yeah,
that's right. There's no carbon in it. Very good, Robert.
Because it's a fossil.
So see, here's another thing. This looks like a shell, right? Lenny, you agreed this is a shell?
It looks like a shell to me.
Oh, guess what, Lenny? There's still animals with shells today.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still animals with shells today.
Yeah,
how is that a problem for evolution?
Well, evolutionists like you say that animals change, right?
They do, yeah.
So there would be no animals with shells then.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, see, you don't even know what evolution says. You don't know what the real scientists say about evolution.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything.
It means something. So why are there still animals with shells, Lenny? If this shell is 350 million years old, according to this...
Yeah. Is it not possible that animals could just have shells for 350 million years?
Well, of course not, because the world isn't any older than 6,000 years old.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Right, and what about the supernova in M82 that's 12 million light years away that the light hit us?
Yeah, I already disproved that. I was on J.D. Kane's hangout with the captain, and I refuted that already. All you have to do is look up star test problems, trigonometry. There you go, easily refuted.
The speed of light is refuted, right?
Dude, how do you know the speed of light's constant?
Because it is a constant. That's the whole point.
Yeah, how do you know that? See, that's the problem with you evolutionists, is that you just believe in pseudoscience. You're going to sit and keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, hoping that the answer is going to be right when it isn't. You're all being deceived, and that's what I'm trying to make you guys wake up to. All of you have been lied to. This isn't 350 million years old. It's 4,000 at best.
If you had a book that you might explain some of this to us in, like, you know what I mean, that would be fantastic. Like if you had like a book.
So we're playing the muting game now. Okay. Well. Well, here. If you want my evidence, here. I'm going to give you my evidence. All right. Give me a second.
I've got one of those books.
Go get your evidence and go get your fucking turtle while you're at it, you cunt.
Yeah, very nice, Lenny. Very adult of you, Lenny.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how do you know if the turtle is actually giving informed consent for the molestation? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, which end do you put your dick in?
See, you're going to have to slow down a little bit. I'm trying to give you guys the evidence that you want, right? But see, you guys this is what you evolutionists do again. You'll sit and ask 50 questions and not give me time to answer the one. So just hold on your britches, all right? Stop being a little bitch, all right? And let me do this.
So how do you tell when a turtle's coming? Does it hum?
See, I got my book.
What do you got?
Here's a question. If you have sex with Michelle Fish, is it molestation?
Oh, you killed it, Cliff.
You got to say that one on the first time.
Very mature, very mature. Here. This
used
easily
my
refutes
good book.
evolution, all right?
Oh, what do you got there?
This is what you evolutionists really believe.
Shut up, Pillbox. Go, Daddy, what do you got?
I've used my good book. This is about 6 joints that I've rolled using it.
Hey.
Yeah, so, see, again, it's just a bunch of garbage. So go ahead. There's my...
I've thrown away almost all my tops. I've used about 6 joints worth of rolling papers out of my Bible here. I think I got a lot to go.
Yeah.
Smoke up Leviticus. That's a shit one.
Revelations.
That was one of my favorites.
The ink content alone's got to be just staggering, just like awesome.
Exodus 21. Smoke that one up. That one. Get rid of that one too. That's the bit Veckel likes.
Oi, me Veckles! I've decided Veckel sounds like a noise a Hasidic Jew makes when he gets hits in the nuts.
Hey, so Lenny.
What?
Did you check out the links that I put there in the chat?
I haven't checked out the. I'm smoking.
You really should, Lenny. You might actually learn something.
Oh my God, Pillbox.
Pokemon evolution.
Yeah, see, that's another problem with the evolutionists. I give them the evidence they want, and yet they'll sit there and they'll laugh at it. They'll mock it.
What about that quote line you did from Stephen Jay Gould?
I didn't quote mine Stephen Jay Gould. He said it.
Did. Yeah, he did say it in an article where he's complaining about being quote mined by cunts like you.
Yeah, he said what he said, didn't he?
Yeah, he said it, but you see, there's context there. That's what makes it a quote.
Oh yeah,
line.
context. Yeah, you believe in context now. Okay.
I do. I believe.
Sure,
in
you can't even make sense of context.
According to your my God, I hate him so bad. I hate Pillbox so hard.
He is so good at that. Oh my God!
Isn't it fucking bizarre? Like, it's troubling that he's that awesome at it. It makes me crazy.
So go ahead and show up to your audience. How many people are watching? Like 3?
Have you ever done him back at him?
You what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you ever fired him back at him? Just like, when he's yeah. Have you ever back at him?
Yeah. Here. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Sky Daddy.
That actually has happened. Yes, the two of them. Captain Osmo was doing Pillbox while Pillbox was in the room, and I couldn't listen to it for more than a couple minutes because it was just yelling.
The thing I want to know is, why did you Pillbox? Why did you put Pokemon evolution?
Right, that's evolution. That's what you evolutionists believe.
That's a cartoon.
No, cartoon. Yeah, you really believe that? See that link right there?
Cartoon.
No, it's what you evolutionists believe. You believe that one kind of animal can turn into another kind of animal. That's never been observed. It's the same thing.
What's a kind exactly? What is the rigid definition of kind?
Well, kind. Oh, you mean you don't know what a kind is, Lenny?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, no. See, here's evolutionists again. They don't even know the basic language when it comes to this sort of thing.
Yeah, clearly not.
So you have a kind of dog, right? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. There's your definition.
So, one kind of dog and another kind of dog? Are they still dogs?
Of course, they're the same kind, aren't they?
Yeah. See, this is what, for the viewers at home, this is what he sent us.
Right. That's what evolutionists believe, right there. See, look at that.
But the problem is, you've just said another kind of, a kind of dog. Well, if you're saying one kind and another kind, and they're still dogs, you've kind of refuted yourself there.
Yeah. See,
because they're obviously using the word kind when it's not the correct word.
Yeah. See, that's the problem with the evolutionists again. You don't even get it. You can't sit there and tell me about evolution when you don't even get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I get it. What's a Wigglytuff?
Yeah, see? You believe that animal right there turns into another kind of animal. See, look at that. So look at this. Trolling with logic. Do you believe that bearded dragon came from something else?
I've never played Pokemon, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah, you would think it's a lot of fun. Real mature. Yeah, trolling with logic. Did that bearded dragon, did that come from another bearded dragon, or did it come from a dog?
I don't know, because I never actually saw where it came from. I never saw where it hatched from.
So you don't know then?
Yeah.
So you're going to sit and defend something that you don't even know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a real?
Very smart.
Is that a real reptile, or is that a toy one?
No, that's a real one. He's just very happy up there.
Yeah, see, here's the evolution. They can't even tell what a real animal is.
And this one's real as well. See him?
Yeah,
I was going to say you got an awesome hat, man.
I bet you guys don't even know if the sun's real.
Shit. He goes. Oh, fucking hell.
Here, trolling with logic. Here, what is this to you? What is that? What does that look like?
A snail.
All right, very good. A snail. Very good. Yeah, very good. Trolling with logic. There you go. How old do you think that shell is?
What?
How old do you think that shell is? This shell right here. How old do you think that is?
I have no idea.
Well, of course you don't know, but here, let me help you. About 4,000 years old. But see, the problem is the evolutionists will turn around and say it's 350 million years old, which, is pseudoscience. It's absurdity. It's insane.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah. I can see my ways. You make a compelling point there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Trolling with logic. As you're here, actually, one of the questions that we were kicking around earlier on was the Engineers Without Borders thing, to my understanding, was a fantastic success.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, we raised $3,600 on the night, but there's still some other things that totaled up, so the actual total is around about $6,000.
$6,000.
Fucking brilliant.
Hey, so with this charity thing,
yeah.
So what is that going to? What is that?
Engineers Without Borders.
Yeah, what do they do?
They build infrastructure for communities that basically don't have any in the third world.
See, you should be donating that money to spread the word of Christ.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
You should be spending that money to make sure that people are not educated in pseudoscience like this. 350 million years old. You should be spreading that money towards educating, the kids about the truth.
Yeah, but the problem is Christ hasn't been doing carpentry for quite some time. They need people who are still doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just going to sit there and scoff my Lord Jesus Christ then?
Yeah.
Cliff jumper. I wouldn't expect anything more from an atheist.
I'm sorry. Look, I just want to comment though. $6,000, north of $6,000, is an absolutely phenomenal number. The original projection was 2, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what our target was, and it was the most amount of money we've raised ever doing our charity shows. So it
fantastic.
We were just getting more and more amazed with every hour that went on. As we came in and how generous everyone was being. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and congratulations to you, and congratulations to everyone who donated. Well done.
Thank to all the guests for taking the time out to appear.
It was for the 150 or so clams the Awesome Crew Show raised for that charity. It was a genuine pleasure. We had a lot of fun. Bob was having a lot of fun.
I was.
I mean, I think basically every hour of that show did raise money. It was quite amazing as well. Because usually there's a tail off in the middle where it just goes dead, but it seems like every single person who appeared on that managed to raise some money. So.
Hey, we were in the middle, weren't we? You see.
I can't.
Oh, well, real mature.
Oh my God.
Robert, real mature.
I'm gonna kill this man. I'm gonna.
Yeah. See, again, you atheists, in the middle. I bet you were in the middle, Robert.
I'm the meat in your sandwich, bitch.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I just have to.
I'm sorry. I believe in reality and not pseudoscience.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Look, pillbox. I mean, real quick, we were talking about immigration earlier on in the show, and you were referenced earlier on in the show.
I saw what you did. I saw what you did with me there, Lenny. Thank you. The cunt of the week. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shows how mature you atheists are.
It's a very coveted award. You have no idea how many comments and conversations I have per week with people actually requesting to be cunt of the week. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You. It's a very coveted and sought after award. You should be pleased.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, Lenny. Way to be mature there, Lenny.
Yeah. So, what are your views on immigration? Are you comfortable with it? Are you comfortable with people immigration in this country?
Well, you know, as far as I'm concerned, we can't get past immigration if we can't figure out, you know, what real science is, Lenny.
Okay, there it is.
See, that's the problem. You can't, you know, transition from one to the other.
Yeah.
And that's the problem right there, Lenny.
I hate you.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
How do I know that? Read a book, idiot.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
Because read a book, idiot.
Yeah,
Do you really think that's true?
Think what's true?
You know, the whole Jesus stuff and...
Of course it's true.
And how do you justify truth in your worldview given that you're such a dick?
Because it was revealed by God, Cliff Jumper, see? How do you justify being a dick in your worldview? I saw you assault
I'm not a dick.
I saw what you did to Jason Burns there. Real appropriate there. Yeah, real appropriate.
That's how I treat assholes.
Yep. Oh, it's Jim. Jeez, he's still with his fucking shell.
Hello, Jim.
Hello. How you doing?
Oh dear me, I don't even know what to do anymore, man. I got fucking Pillbox sending me pictures of Pokemon right now.
I was gonna say this is the first time that Cunt of the Week's actually turned up on the after show. That's fucking brilliant.
It's fantastic. A real first for the Awesome Crew show.
Well, you know,
hopefully we'll get that big fat bitch come in too.
Yeah, there's a real demand for me. You see, you atheists can't get enough of me because you know that deep down inside that I'm right, and you're just suppressing the truth in your own unrighteousness. That's all it is. You guys can't get enough of me.
Deep down.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah, that's right, Lenny. Deep down inside, real mature.
Deep down inside.
Yeah. Keep acting like a bitch,
that's
Lenny.
true about me. I do suppress the truth and unrighteousness. I do.
See,
that.
there you go.
Not other atheists will admit to that.
Yeah, so there we go, right there on the after show. We have an atheist, admitting live to the viewing audience of probably 7 because your show sucks. That atheists really do suppress the truth and unrighteousness. There you go. Thank you again.
What? Oh God.
What? Sky Daddy, is the truth that you're hiding the corpse in that refrigerator behind you?
Certainly not that I would admit to.
Yeah, I would never admit to that on the air. What are you talking about?
There's no dead corpse in there. It's under the patio.
That's where I keep mine.
Yeah.
I imagine Jim's got this sort of very lumpy.
The problem is
very poorly paved with like a face in it in certain parts.
The problem is Jim's. He's got a large patio because it's not just one body. When he says mine, that's a plural.
Sure. It's more of a rockery.
Oh no.
Yeah. So can you guys see this?
Oh God, I hate you.
Do you guys really believe what's on this paper right now? And you're sending money for people to have clean water and build bridges? And this is the type of thing that they're teaching in this country? You can't be serious.
Which part do you disagree with? Is it the word Morocco? Or the word 50?
It's all pseudoscience. It's all pseudoscience. See,
Morocco pseudoscience.
Can you read that right there? What does that say, Lenny?
Basin.
No, basin. Yeah.
They're talking about your haircut.
What does that say? What does that say?
350.
Yeah, 350 what?
Million years old.
Exactly. You really believe in this pseudoscience that says that this shell... I can't find it.
But if it's not true... Yeah, and if it's not true, why would God have written it out on that paper?
Yeah.
No, man, the fallible man is who wrote it on the paper. Truth suppressors are the ones who wrote this on this paper.
Well, I can think of other papers that were written by truth suppressors that people believe in.
Uh-huh. Well, like what? Name one. Oh, no, see, again, that's your problem, Robert, is that the Bible was inspired by God, okay?
Well, how do you know that paper you're holding wasn't inspired by God?
Does this look like it was inspired by God? It contradicts the Bible. It says 350 million years old. That's pseudoscience. Don't tell me you believe that. It still looks like a snail shell to me.
Well, the Bible's full of contradictions, so the fact that that's contradictory to the Bible actually is in keeping with the whole theme.
You tell him, Bob.
Yeah.
Kick him in his nerds.
Here's a question for you. Where are the bones of Adam and Eve? I mean,
under my patio.
Alright, so are you guys ready for this? I had to go out and get something, right? So you see the snail shell, right? Are you ready for it? Ready for it? Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, look at that.
I don't.
Look at that. They're the same kind of animal. So you really mean to tell me that this thing, this kind of animal right here is 350 million years old when it's the same type of shell as this one?
Can I ask you a question, Pillbox?
No, you don't get to ask me questions. You have to answer mine first.
Okay, I'll answer your question. Yellow. Now, can I ask you a question?
Fine. It wouldn't even matter, but go ahead.
Yeah. How many times a week do you like small men to poop on your chest?
3. But you have to answer my question.
It's a fair answer.
Lenny, they're the same kind of animal, Lenny. How do you account for this?
You.
Look at this. This is a snail shell. Oh, look, a snail with the same kind of shell.
So what does that prove?
It proves that evolution is pseudoscience. That's what I've been trying to tell you guys for months now.
Fucking pseudo-cunt.
You believe in fictitious pseudoscience is
you
all it
believe
is.
in fucking fairy tale crap because there's nothing wrong with your fucking brain.
Yeah, that's right, Lenny. Yeah, fairy tale crap. Yeah.
Look, it's not about the fact that you're
refuted. You have been refuted.
It's not about the fact that you're a fucking Christian. It's about the fact that you're a science denialist. Because either
I'm denying science right now. Look at this.
Your beliefs will allow you to believe things that are actually
same kind of animal. Look at that.
B, your brain's too fucking tarded to know the difference.
Yeah. Fine. What's the difference then?
The difference between what you believe in actual science?
No, I'm talking about right now. What is the difference here? They're the same kind of animal.
One's a fossil and one's not.
But they're the same kind of animal. There you go.
The difference is about 350 million years.
Oh yeah, and you really believe in that pseudoscience. The fossil record is broken. All of you know that. You just choose to, suppress the truth in your own righteousness.
I hate you so much. I want you to know that. I want you to know the hate that I have in my heart for you. And I'm literally willing through my mind awful things to happen to you right now.
Yeah, see, this is what I just want everyone out there who's watching, this is how the evolutionists reply whenever their worldview is questioned.
I'll kick you.
This is how they act. They can't justify their worldview. And again, I'm showing them clear evidence right now of 2 of the same kind of animal, and this one is apparently 350 million years old. I just pulled this one off my door. Same kind of animal.
Yeah.
It's pseudoscience.
Off your scrotum.
It's pseudoscience. Yeah, real mature. You really believe that?
Would anyone like to come in? If you did the links in the video feed, and I posted a number of other places. If you'd like to join us and talk to Pillbox.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring in more atheists. Bring in Fiona. Go ahead and bring in Fiona. I'd love to talk to her.
Oh my God.
Bring in Lasoyo. He's a fake Christian bitch too.
Funnily enough, I have a funny feeling that she might be in a field picking up shit, and she probably would prefer doing that than coming here and talking to you.
Yeah.
Picking up shit's better than listening to it.
Yeah, that's what biologists do nowadays, just shovel shit. That's all they do. Yeah, very good. That's exactly what Fiona's doing right now. Very good, Cliff. Very good. Yeah, there you go.
She's actually taking care of her horses.
Oh, right, horses. Yeah.
Not in the biblical sense.
Yeah, the horses. The horses that came from a worm, right?
Oh my God. The horses that came from other horses.
Right, and where did those horses come from? Other horses?
Yeah.
And other horses? And other horses? Yeah, right.
Now we can go back to a common ancestor between the horses, but you know all this already.
No, see, again, There's no evidence, and it's never been observed. It's just pseudoscience.
Microbloganism. Welcome.
Yeah,
to
microbloganism. See that little icon of his? That's what you think. All
Will
of
you shut up? Fucking hell! What a lunatic.
I'm pretty sure one of them was helical and the other one was a spiral. The shells.
I'm sorry, you're coming through just a little bit low there. Can we raise you up? Can we do that?
You evolutionists believe that all of you came from.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, Micro.
Oh, you cunt.
Wasn't the
Don't
one
call
of,
Micro a cunt.
wasn't one of the shells you showed a helical and the other one's a spiral? I didn't catch them both probably. Yeah, from the side. Yeah, not from that angle.
Oh, so they're not the same kind, are they?
No. As far as I can see, one is the
Yeah, keep muting me there. Yeah, keep muting me when I'm trying to talk.
Okay.
So here you have real mature. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see from another angle.
Cliff, you keep muting the wrong person, you prick.
Yeah. So see, same kind of animal. See that?
Can I see it from the fossil from another angle? Yeah. Great. That one is clearly not the same shape. That one is not the same. That one is spiral. The other one is helical.
Another angle, and he turned it upside down.
That looks a lot like an ammonite, which is not a snail.
No, you know what? It's
Also,
actually
it
not
looks
that.
like
You know what? See, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's actually an ammonite. See, you're wrong. All right.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
No, that isn't what you said. That isn't what you said at all.
Yes, that's what I said.
That's exactly what it says.
Yeah, you really believe that? Uh huh.
Yes,
you
because I'm
realize
reading
that ammonites are kind of squid, right? It's not a snail.
Oh, so you mean to tell me this shell came from a squid? You really believe that? You really?
An ammonite
believe?
is a fucking squid. It's an extinct. I can't remember if it's genus or.
Is that a cephalopod then? I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a cephalopod.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, you really believe that? How do you get that from?
That's not a belief.
Yeah, Go ahead and keep telling that to yourself. It does make it true.
You too.
Yeah. Well, have you? Everyone knows Pillbox. Everyone knows his game. It's all right. We're all friends here. We're all cunts here.
And you've got to say that Pillbox is being particularly pillboxy tonight.
He's all pillboxed up.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you. Why are there no bearded dragons in the Bible?
Because they shaved back then.
Or penguin.
Yeah.
Or penguin.
Yeah, so anyways, what's your name? I can't even see. I'm just going to call you, Microblog. Yeah, so you really believe that this isn't the same kind of animal as this?
It clearly isn't.
Well, yeah, they look the same to me. See, you have the spiral and everything. Same kind of animal.
No, one is helical, the other one is a spiral.
Yeah, you really believe that? Here, tell you what. Show me.
Now you're denying basic geometry.
Yeah, see.
Geometry science, you see. And that's obviously
the problem is that your position's already been refuted.
No, it hasn't.
You've been refuted.
Yeah, your position's been refuted. It's already been established.
My position is reverse cowgirl.
Yeah. Real mature, Lenny. Yeah, real mature. So again,
it's a good one though. It is a good one.
It's real good, real mature. Trying to talk science here, and you guys just want to talk about pseudoscience. So yeah, so you need to tell me these aren't the same kind of animal.
They're not.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that.
One is a fucking cephalopod.
Yeah, right. And what's a cephalopod?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. You don't even know what a cephalopod is, but you're.
I know what a cephalopod is. I'm asking you if you know what a cephalopod is.
That would be the group which squid and octopi belong to.
Okay. Cool. I agree with you 100%.
Good. Ammonites was cephalopods.
Yeah, see, you don't even know what you're talking about. You can't even form a sentence correctly.
The fuck?
This looks like a snail shell to me. And you mean to tell me that this is 350 million years old? Pseudoscience
yes,
again.
Is.
Yeah, Under whose authority?
Not on anybody's authority, on the evidence.
So you have no authority. That's the problem with the evolutionists. You have no authority to answer to. That's why you guys are a bunch of unmoral monsters.
Yeah, I'm so yeah. I kill babies every day.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm sure you do.
These unmoral monsters raised over $6,000 for Engineers Without Borders money that I'm sure they'll put to good use.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will. Good job, guys. Yeah, very good.
Thanks.
Yeah, good job on that. Yeah.
Thanks.
You should really be focusing on education here in our own country.
Oh my God.
Yeah, making sure that.
Where are you from, Microblog?
Denmark.
You're Danish. Fantastic.
It's where my favourite pastries come from.
Don't ever let Microblog play you any music. We got. And the pre-show for the charity show, we were taking requests, and we got some of his.
Barbie Girl. That was Danish, wasn't it?
We got to pick some of his music, I have to say.
Partly Danish. The lead singer is Norwegian.
Did you play what did you play, like Fuck the Pain Away or something like that?
No.
Well, I think Angry Pumpkin described it as a leprechaun on ecstasy, the music he played.
Yeah, the first
one. You should like it then.
I've been to Denmark.
If you want to listen to it, it's Barcode Brothers Flute.
I'm going to look that up.
Denmark tomorrow as it happens.
What the hell are you doing there?
Oh.
And a hush fell over the crowd.
Yes.
No, seriously.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, Fiona Robertson has entered the hangout. The standoff you've all been waiting for, Fiona Robertson versus Pillbox. My hat's off. You are muted, my darling, if you want to just unmute yourself so you can be audible. The football's on, so I gotta stay muted. What's the score?
Hasn't started yet.
Oh.
Well, just about to kick off.
So, 0-0.
So 0-0 is what you're trying to tell me. Got it. Fucking hell.
I think they're doing the anthems.
You mean that part of the process everyone pretends to give a shit about? Got it.
Who's playing?
Holland,
Netherlands and Argentina.
How many snails did Noah take on the Ark then?
Oh hey, look who it is! It's my favorite non-Christian. How you doing, Fiona? Here's something for you evolutionists out there. Seeing you all want to talk about turtles and everything, go ahead and click on that and tell me what you see.
I see bones.
Exactly. Bones of what, Lenny?
What appear to be
Looks like roadkill.
Yeah, see, look at that. Fiona's already banging her head because she knows that I'm right.
Fossil turtles?
Yeah, exactly. So how old are those fossils?
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. So
you can't carbon date pixels.
So you think? So why? Look at this. Oh, look at this. There's still turtles. Look at that. You really believe that those turtles turned around and evolved into something like this?
No.
That's what you believe.
Giraffe. Yeah, I like giraffes.
Yeah, that's what you evolution. Yeah, congratulations.
No, because no.
Yeah, according to your worldview.
No.
Turtles gave birth to giraffes. That's what you believe.
Synapses did not evolve from a highly specialized anapsids.
Right, you believe that.
That's my meerkat. My meerkat is more evolved than your tortoise.
Yeah, according to your worldview, that you can't even justify. Yeah, according to your
fucking
worldview,
meerkats can talk.
You know, funnily enough, it's amusing that you should show a giraffe, because that's pretty good evidence of evolution.
Yeah.
Because there's the laryngeal nerve that in humans goes from our neck into our chest and back up, and on a giraffe it takes a much longer journey.
Yeah, because
it goes from their neck, from their head, all the way down their neck into their chest and back up again.
Yeah, and why do you think that is?
Because they have common ancestry.
Oh, you really believe that? It couldn't be that they were designed that way.
No.
Pretty stupid design.
Yeah. It could have been designed that way by a fucking moron.
Yeah, but see, that's just your opinion, though.
Not really, not really. He must have been only a moron would design it that way.
Yeah, how do you know? By whose standard is that
the creation of creation.
Well, a standard of someone who knows how to make something.
So you know how to make a giraffe then?
Imagine having a car and having the steering wheel, and instead of it going straight forward to the wheels at the front of the car, it goes all the way to the back of the car, goes through some kind of linkage to come all the way back again. That would be the equivalent.
Yeah.
What kind of idiot would design it like that?
Well, you're the idiot that believes that turtles gave birth to giraffes. Yeah, that's what you evolutionists believe.
I know, I don't believe
pseudoscience.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, you do.
So you know better what I believe than myself. That's interesting.
Yeah, so again, keep suppressing it. Yeah, come on. See, this is too. You guys make this too easy. This is far too easy. Here I was expecting a challenge.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I don't even know. I want to call my mom.
Yeah, you go cry to your mommy, Lenny.
Oh,
I'm sorry that you evolutionists can't handle the truth. I'm sorry that every time I talk to you guys, you guys can't handle it and you have to go running. You know what, Lenny, go home and run to your mommy.
You know what, Alan? I'm sitting here, I'm listening to you, and I want you to know that I love you, man. I just want you to know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because, animals are capable of loving. According to your worldview, you're just an animal.
God, he just doesn't stop. Wouldn't you rather talk about something else? Would you rather talk about, I just want
to let all of you know at home that Lenny is threatening to kick me out in the chat section there, so don't be surprised if...
Oh, yeah,
Lenny, you bastard!
Ladies and gentlemen, that was MG42 Pillbox, who was shown the airlock.
He's still a cunt then.
He's still a cunt. One of my favorites, actually.
I bet he will go off and eat the snail.
Yeah.
Either that or wank over it.
And then eat it.
God had Joshua kill the Ammonites. So those Ammonites fossils you have got up. Best comment yet. That was fantastic.
Who said that?
That was fuck. I have to look up now. I forget who said it. Someone said it. Someone impressed me with that shit. I have to click on things here. Hang on. Oh god, I'm fucking up. It was somebody who had a fairly forgettable username. It was MJT532.
That's not forgettable. That's just hard to remember.
Yeah, it was so forgettable that I just had to go look it up.
Hey guys.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
You never guess who we just had in here.
You'll never guess who was just here, Cap.
Oh, who was it? I was pooping.
It was really for a half an hour.
Dude, sometimes you just have to lay back and just, take. It's like a fine wine. You just have to let it, take its time.
You need more fiber in your diet.
It's like making a good stew. Sometimes you just have to let it simmer in its own juice.
There was one time where I fell asleep on the toilet, and I woke up, and my legs were fucked. I couldn't do a single thing. My legs were annihilated.
Killed the Ammonites. Is that some sort of Bible thing?
Yeah, we just had Pillbox in here.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was awful. I hated it so bad.
Loud and annoying.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Lenny. In fact, I love you more.
If we can know for certain that that you weren't playing Pillbox back there because you're wearing a different hat, and the camera's at a different angle.
Oh, of
they
course.
don't look the same, so they can't possibly be in the same thing.
Yeah, and you are and wearing sunglasses.
And it's not G-Man because he doesn't check his testicles first.
The self-inspection.
The chocolate atheist.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Now that you mentioned, let me check my testicles now because it's been a good hour or two before I've giving them any attention. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Still salty.
Oh boy.
Salty.
Oh, hey Fifi! I haven't seen you in forever. Yay, Fifi. So, anyways, how's everyone doing? I'm actually a part of the Naked After Show, which, why not?
It almost never happens. It almost never happens. Yeah.
Oh,
Clothing optional on the Naked After Show. Yeah.
Man. I'm so naked you can see my brain.
You could literally drown a toddler in Fiona's panties right now.
Let's hope he doesn't get his cock out.
Hey, you know who else drowns
That's
toddlers?
pretty good evidence that God didn't create that.
Yeah, want to know who else drowns toddlers? God. Oh, a diss and a half, yo.
Yeah, you got him.
I sure did learn you there.
Yeah, yeah. That'll do it.
That'll do, pig. It
important
feels weird being
update
here.
from the football, guys. Important update from the football. After 5 minutes, it's still 0-0.
Awesome.
Just thought you'd need. Just thought you'd know that.
22 actually.
So nothing like the Brazil game, which I believe was 3-0 by then.
There was about 20 goals by this time yesterday.
So, anyways, I just thought I'd stop by and say hello to the Naked After Show.
Yeah, buddy.
You gotta show the tatas a little. One of these days, we will get Fifi off air to show her tatas. One of these days.
Yeah, you got.
Do you think she'll have little bits of tape over her nipples?
No, I bet she would. I'd allow it.
Easy girl. Easy girl. Steady now. This a long time.
Can we temporarily go off air and do this?
No.
Oh. It'll only take a minute. A few seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Sky Daddy.
We can do this.
Yeah.
This can happen. It'll only take me. I'm sure it'll only take a moment.
Finished on the first stroke.
Oh man. My husband is having a heart attack in his chair now. Oh, hey, hold on. Oh, wait, Dave, you have to go back here. Highlight.
I did.
Okay.
I did it.
Well,
So
you
does
have
anyone-
one lucky husband.
Does anyone want to talk about the issues? Like, you know what I mean? Instead of just this silliness with Pillbox, laughing at creationists. You know what I mean? We talked about some big stuff. We talked about immigration a little bit. We talked about racism a little bit. We talked about all kinds of stuff. Come on, guys. Highbrow conversation. For fucking once.
Well, tomorrow, Fiona and I hopefully are going to have a discussion about the.
Fart!
There it is. Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah, continue. He's just being.
Okay. There's a bit of a to-do at the moment in the UK regarding sort of sex scandals and things like that. Paedophiles in Parliament, and it was hidden in the 70s, that kind of thing. You've sort of got all the stuff that's gone on with churches, not limited to the Catholic Church, and but also in the UK Parliament, there's been issues with interns and activists and things like that, and then they've been propositioned by their bosses, I suppose you could say, for sex and things like that. And these are young people who are trying to make it in the political world, and they're being propositioned. And of course, if you say no, that could damage your career.
If you say no,
it's an abuse of power. Yes, they might be the age of consent, but is it really consent if you kind of are backed into a corner where saying no could damage your career?
But let's face it, Thatcher was goddamn sexy.
Oh, dude, I mean... Oh, fuck off, for God's sake!
When?
Have you not seen Thatcher? Dude, I'd burn the brakes off that bitch. I don't give a shit how dead she is.
Anyways, I do have to get going, so I just wanted to stop by and say hello and to see how everyone was doing.
And to draw on my face. Thank you.
So, peace out, bitches.
Yeah, all the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. That was the co-host of the Awesome Crew show, because I'm the host of the Naked After Show. Deal with it. Yes, indeed.
So yeah, Fiona and I are going to have a discussion about that, and I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those sort of hushed issues, isn't it? Like, people just don't talk about this type of thing. It's almost sort of not done, and
it's an old story where I mean, as a child, not that I really had any of this kind of stuff going on. I don't remember anything happening in the area where I was, but
that's Rohypnol for you.
I think that's before Rohypnol, but I might be wrong. Anyway, so when I was a child, there'd be sort of don't get in cars with strangers, but not only that, if there was someone naughty in the family, it'd be like, don't go near Uncle Alan, he's not right, that kind of thing. Whereas today, we'll shop our own family in if they're messing around with kids or something like that.
I'm sure, yeah.
We just won't stand for it anymore. And the difficulty that's happened in the past is that if you were a victim of that kind of crime, it's very difficult to show the evidence. And without evidence, how can you convict somebody? So people didn't report it. My mum, I believe, she told me she was raped when she was younger. She didn't call it rape, but from what she said, it was. And it was a shameful thing. People just didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And like I say, today, in the world today, we say, no way, we're not standing for that anymore. So all this stuff that's come out in recent, months and the last couple of years, the whole Jimmy Savile stuff, he was having sex with dead people.
Allegedly.
Is that actually something that happened?
Well,
apparently so.
People have provided witness statements to the police that he had access to the morgue, and that they saw him going in there.
Well, so basically, like to stop off for.
That doesn't necessarily mean he was shagging the corpses. I mean, morticians do it all the time.
Yeah.
What, shagging corpses, or?
No, have access to the mortuary and go in there a lot.
Yeah, but considering the guy was quite prolific with messing around with anybody he could get his hands on, I wouldn't put it past him, including dead people.
I have to say this.
In fact, he joked about it, didn't he?
A cold one after work.
Oh,
dear.
I don't know. I just have this kind of weird thing. So it's Jimmy Savile. I feel dead people.
Yes.
That's fucked up. But I loved it. Yeah, no, I'm not down for blind speculation, hearing what Cliff has just said, I will leave it up to the audience, to decide whether or not that actually happened. But the answer is yes. Has the word rape actually sort of changed over the years? Like, has what we've defined as rape sort of evolved and changed to include more things that it wouldn't have 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago? So that people who might have experienced some
the
kind
legal
of assault.
definition has evolved. I mean, certainly here in Sweden, it's got very, very tight rape laws, and what is classed as rape here wouldn't be classed as rape in, for example, the UK.
Really?
Yeah. That's what Julian Assange's got into all this trouble for. What he's been accused of rape, and in Sweden, what he's accused of is technically rape, but in the UK it wouldn't be.
And what is the difference there?
Oh, I can't remember what my lawyer told me last time.
Why? What did you do?
Yeah, whoa.
No, allegedly.
Allegedly, what he did, and he.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Jim. What did you do when your lawyer?
Apart from all the murders?
Yeah.
The murder spree going on in Sweden right now.
Yeah, he told me I'd get away with the murders as long as I didn't admit to raping them.
I think, yeah, murder's fine, but no raping.
Yeah, don't do raping. Raping's bad.
I don't think there is. I don't think there's even a statute of limitations on rape in the United States. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even think that's a crime that carries a statute of limitations, or maybe it does. I don't think it does.
I think it does. I think it's murder that doesn't.
Is it only murder that doesn't have a statute of limitation?
I'm not sure if it's the only one, but I don't think rape does.
Wow.
But then again, I suppose it's also in America. It's state dependent, isn't it? So it depends on what state you're in.
Sure, yeah. There was that case a number of years back where that girl was sexually assaulted while she was passed out by like these frat idiots.
Oh.
And they videotaped the whole thing and spread it around and then laughed about it on YouTube later. Like, you know what I mean? That's just such aside from the fact that it's an extraordinarily disgusting thing to do to somebody who's incapacitated and cannot consent or defend themselves in that situation. It's a remarkably stupid thing to do, to broadcast it on fucking YouTube that, yep, we did it, and nope, we're not worried about it. I don't think any of them actually got prosecuted.
I think they got prosecuted, didn't they? But didn't they win the case, or they got off on a technicality?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly rape. If it's unconsensual, if the person concerned is unable to give consent, then it's clearly rape, surely.
Right. Yeah.
It's black and white one for me, isn't it?
That's kind of what I was getting to. Like, you know what I mean? If where is the rape boundary? Like, you know what I mean? When have you officially crossed the line? Because,
I'd like to take your point a step farther and say I don't mind it being broad. I think the word rape is a real attention getter, and I think it should be used for just about any type of coerced sex. I don't think molestation really. I mean, maybe for legal terms it's good enough, but I don't think it really grabs people by the yahoo enough. Says, hey, something fucking happened here. I need to be paid attention to and maybe taken care of, perhaps even fixed in some way. Help me now.
Yeah.
Would grabbing somebody by the yahoo be classed as rape?
I mean, it depends on whether or not they specifically asked for it beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, well, you nobody has the right to put their hands on you in a way that you don't appreciate. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of rule number one. But you have to be careful. Like, I mean, especially as like adult men, you have to be careful. Yeah, I mean, men need to be more choosy about the partners they pick, because they could be in a situation where they are thinking that the person that they're with is consenting, but there's an event later that you could find yourself up on charges. You know what I mean? Last February, I think I've talked about it before. I was in a very serious situation where I met a girl. I started sleeping with her, and then I figured out she was a fucking bag of cats. And I said, "Yeah, we're done." And then she was running around telling people around town that I roofied her. You know what I mean? And I'm like, whoa. This could have very serious legal implications on me, and I didn't know she was this nuts that she would even think of doing something like that when we started sleeping together. Like, you know what I mean? She just started running around telling everybody that I spiked her drinks, and I made her behave in a way that she wouldn't normally behave, and she would never have slept with me if on that night, on that one occasion, if I hadn't done it. And I'm like, bitch, I didn't do shit to your drinks, and you need to stop telling people, because that's fucking slander.
But there's another thing about the definition of rape changing. I think in the UK, you couldn't rape somebody within a marriage until quite recently.
Really?
You see what I mean? Yeah, I think that was a relatively recent change to the law. I mean, in the last 20 years or so. But if you were married to that person, you couldn't, by definition, rape them.
So a marriage in that situation was, if you were married to somebody, you were giving consent for life.
Yes, in effect.
Well, that's only recently changed within the last 20 years here in the States as well.
Yeah. So the definition of rape has definitely changed in the last 20 years.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm wondering if it's
the definition of marriage has too, in at least some small way.
That's quite right. That's quite right, and probably for the best.
I've just found the statute of limitations for various states. Alabama, no limitation. First and second degree is no limit. Third degree is 10 years. Arizona 7 years.
This is for rape now.
Yes. Arkansas, the persecution of felony rape is to commence within 6 years after the commission of the offence. So, California 6 years, Colorado 10, Connecticut 5.
What is the purpose of statutes of limitations? I mean, why would you have a statute of limitations?
Because it's unfair to try someone or to bring someone up on charges for a crime that was committed so long ago that circumstances and the evidence has changed. How sure can you be that this even happened? The way that it's about. I think it's about it's more about the prosecution's ability to make a case against a person. It's not saying, hey, listen, if you rob a bank and you get away with it for 7 years, then you've officially gotten away with it. That's not the point.
Yeah, I think it's also to after 5 years, for example, just use that as a random number. After 5 years, what's your memory like of the incident? For some people, it'll be good. For other people, it won't. And really, this is kind of what we're going to talk about. One of the things that changed in the UK was that there was a shift towards evidence that if someone said they were raped, then it managed to get to court, the person would be effectively put on trial by the defence, who would make them feel like crap. I mean, a good example was the Manchester School of Music. There was a teacher who was abusing some of the children, and this girl, she got attacked, and she was like 30 odd or something like that. I can't remember how old she was when she died. But she basically committed suicide about a week after giving evidence against him. He went to jail for 11 years.
I remember that. Because, that was quite recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in the last couple of days. And the reason was because, she felt so traumatized by giving evidence, it brought back the horrors for her.
Also being cross-examined, where you've got a lawyer who's trying to do his job and defend his client.
Yeah.
And he's being paid to walk up, look that girl in the eye, and say, "Are you lying?
You're a slut." Yeah, it's all your fault.
Right. Were you leading him on? Did you instigate this? Did you just have sex with him and then change your mind? You know what I mean? That's got to be fucking hard to listen to put yourself through as well, to defend yourself on that.
Anyway, so there was a shift, about sort of without any evidence such as semen samples or, the rape kit, what they collect nowadays. Without that, how can you get a proper conviction? It's going to be hearsay. It's going to be one person's word against another,
Right.
And as a result of that, the amount of people who were saying they were a victim of a crime, such as that, they just weren't coming forward, because they knew that it was something. It was something like 1 in 28 or something like that. I think it was chance of getting anywhere near a court. Most of the time the CPS would say, no, sorry, a Crown Prosecution Service, by the way. They would say, sorry, we don't have enough evidence to convict, and it gets dropped. And then about 8 to 10 years ago, I think it was, they started to go the opposite way, if you know what I mean, that they started to be able to believe people. And so the reason why the Rolf Harrises of the world and things like that, the celebrity people that you know about, or prolific sex offenders, it's a correlation thing. They get one person and someone else and then the third person and however many, and they say, well, this is how they acted. This is where they put their hands. These are the things that they said, and it basically all those statements together shows a pattern of behavior. It shows an MO, modus operandi. So as a result, they're much more able to prosecute and win.
Yeah. But I mean, going back to what you said earlier, Cliff, about the change in social attitudes, one of the things that shocked me recently was reading about the paedophile information exchange, which was either a charity or an advocacy organization in the 70s and 80s, and people were openly paedophiles. People would go and openly say, "I'm a paedophile. I want the Christ, what's it called? The age of consent to be abolished."
Yeah.
And that was not, I mean, it was seen as slightly taboo, but it wasn't seen in the same light as we see it now. And that was within my lifetime.
Thing about it is, it was, but they were kind of trying to, they were riding the wagon of the, the people trying to fight. Yeah, people who were saying, look, I'm homosexual, deal with it. It shouldn't be illegal. Because remember that until 67 or 69?
67, I think.
67, yeah. It was illegal to be gay in the UK. Try again. It was decriminalised in 1967, but it didn't stop being illegal until I think it was the late 90s or early 2000s. So it's fairly recent that it's been, legal to be gay. And an example of how messed up it used to be was that one of the best mathematicians the world has known, Alan Turing, he was one of the guys behind the computer. He was one of the guys that worked at Bletchley Park decoding Nazi codes in World War II, shortened the war by years, along with a bunch of other people as well. The guy had a choice between going to jail or chemical castration, and he ended up killing himself instead. He took a third choice.
What's oh my God, what's the sentence for being gay?
I can't remember what the sentence would have been, but it was a few years.
You'd be locked up in a building full of other men.
Yeah.
So you're gay, and then you're obviously going to I guess the word is offend. You're going to offend again. Like I don't want to use that word, but I don't know how else to say it in this context. So you're just going to go right back to prison, right? I mean, they know you're gay. They know where you are. I mean,
I mean, the thing about it is, it was a little bit don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. If someone was gay and they were quiet about it, most people didn't notice or care. It was
the reason they went up to Turing was security, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were worried about him getting bribed, or people the Russians using that as a way of getting information from him, as a bribery tool, and that's why they got interested in Turing. I think it was pretty much turned a blind eye to, unless you were obvious about it.
Yeah. See if I can find it. I'm just going to read the Wikipedia page. It says, in January 1952, Turing, then 39, started a relationship with Arnold Murray, a 19-year-old unemployed man. Turing met Murray just before Christmas, just outside the Regal Cinema, when walking down Manchester's Oxford Road, and invited him to lunch. On the 23rd of January, Turing's house was burgled. Murray told Turing that the burglar was an acquaintance of his, and Turing reported the crime to the police. During the investigation, he acknowledged that he had a sexual relationship with Murray. Homosexual acts were criminal offences in the UK at the time, and both men were charged with gross indecency under Section 11 of the Criminal Law Amendment Act 1885. Initial committal proceedings for the trial occurred on the 27th of February, where Turing's solicitor reserved his defence. Later convinced by the advice of his brother and other lawyers, Turing entered a plea of guilty, in spite of the fact he felt no remorse or guilt for having committed acts of homosexuality. The case, Regina versus Turing and Murray, was brought to trial on the 31st of March 1952, when Turing was convicted and given a choice between imprisonment and probation, which would be conditional on his agreement to undergo hormone treatment designed to reduce libido. He accepted the option of treatment via injections of stibilostrol, a synthetic estrogen. This treatment was continued for a course of 1 year. The treatment rendered Turing impotent and caused gynecomastia, fulfilling the literal sense. Effectively, he grew boobs. During prediction that no doubt, I shall emerge from it a different man, but quite who I found out. I don't know. I've lost that word. Anyway, Turing's conviction led to the removal of security clearance and barred him from continuing his work in cryptographic consultancy for the Government Communications Headquarters, GCHQ. The British Signals Agency that evolved from in 1946, although he kept his academic job. He was denied entry into the US after his conviction in 1952, but was free to visit other European countries, even though this was viewed by some as a security risk. At the time, there was acute public anxiety about homosexual entrapment of spies by Soviet agents because the recent exposure of two members of the Cambridge Five, Guy Burgess and Donald McLean, and KGB double agents. Turing was never accused of espionage, but in common with all who'd worked at Bletchley Park, he was prevented by the Official Secrets Act from discussing his war work. On 8th of June 1954, so this is 2 years later, Turing's cleaner found him dead. He died the previous day. A post-mortem examination established that the cause was cyanide poisoning. When his body was discovered, an apple lay half eaten beside his bed, and although the apple was not tested for cyanide, it was speculated this was the means of the fatal dose was consumed. An inquest determined that he committed suicide and was cremated at Workington Crematorium on the 12th of June 1954. Turing's ashes were scattered there just as his father's had been. So, yeah, messed up, and this is because he was gay. You know.
And he only got an official pardon quite recently, didn't he, Cliff? Again, in the last 5 years or so, he got an official pardon by Gordon Brown, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if he actually did.
There was one of those online...
I think...
not survey, it's not the right word, but petition, that's the word I'm looking for, yeah. And yeah. I'm pretty sure he got a posthumous pardon.
Yeah.
Recently.
In August 2009, John Graham Cunningham started a petition urging the British government to apologise for Turing's prosecution as a homosexual. The petition received thousands of signatures. Prime Minister Gordon Brown acknowledged the petition, releasing a statement on the 10th of September 2009 apologising and describing the treatments of Turing appalling. And this is the quote from Gordon Brown. Thousands of people have come together to demand justice for Alan Turing and recognising the appalling way in which he was treated. While Turing was dealt with under the law of the time, we can't put the clock back. His treatment was, of course, utterly unfair, and I'm pleased to have the chance to say how sorry I feel, and we all are, to what's happened to him. So, on behalf of the British government and all those who live freely thanks to Alan's work, I'm very proud to say we're sorry. You deserved so much better.
Here it is.
And it says, there we go, December 2011, William Jones created a new petition requesting the British government's pardon for Turing for gross indecency, and 37,000 signatures it got. But the request was discouraged by Lord McNulty, who gave the following opinion in his role as Justice Minister. A posthumous pardon was not considered appropriate as Alan Turing was properly convicted of what at the time was a criminal offence. He would have known that his offence was against the law and he would be prosecuted. It is tragic that Alan Turing was convicted of an offence which now seems both cruel and absurd, particularly poignant given his outstanding contribution to the war effort. However, the law at the time required a prosecution, and as such, long-standing policy has been to accept such convictions took place rather than trying to alter historical context and put right which cannot be put right. So, ensure instead that we never return to those times.
That's very interesting. the cultural temperature on the issue has really changed. I tell you what, it's not, it's fantastic that I get to live in a time where, like, I get to watch it happen. Like, you know what I mean? I get to, one day say to my non-children, this is the time, and these are things that happen, that the cultural attitude towards homosexuals and homosexuality really started to turn. But my question is that, when we think about the stuff that Jimmy Samuel's supposed to have done, and Gary Glitter, and and we think about pedophiles in general, there's just this initial kind of moral disgust, right? It comes from somewhere very emotional, why people think pedophilia is disgusting. But we also have obviously got mountains and mountains of evidence that shows how detrimental it is to a developing child to be assaulted in that way. So I mean, but I would like to see a time where the cultural disgust, the moral disgust we have for pedophilia goes away, and we become more concerned about solving the issue rather than condemning the people who commit this act. You know what I mean? Because for some people, for some pedophiles, they don't feel like they're causing harm. They don't feel like they're bad people. They don't feel like they're deliberately trying to hurt somebody. They're just trying to express their sexuality in some of the same ways that I do, which fortunately for me is well within the bounds of the law. Or some of the people, for homosexual people who now, thankfully, are doing so well within the bounds of the law. And they feel like they're doing the same thing, but unfortunately that their condition makes it so that their expression of their sexuality is really harmful to any child who's attacked. But I really love to see a change in the cultural temperature towards these people. Stop condemning them. Enough with this idea of there has to be a sex offenders list so that they can be actively sought out and sort of witch hunted, and just start trying to understand the condition so we can work on resolving it.
The difficulty is, this is like kind of saying to somebody, I don't know, it's almost like trying to deconvert someone who's religious in a way, isn't it? Sure. This is something that is so much of a part of their being. How can you, yes, you can say this is unacceptable, but how can you sort of prevent them expressing it, or from feeling it, rather?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't pretend to have all the answers. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even pretend to have half of the answers. I have no idea if it can be done, but I'd like to think that it could, or that we could find a way to correct this behavior because it's so harmful. But when you get out with your average American fucking Yahoo, and they say something ridiculous like, I think we should take all pedophiles out behind the fucking shed and shoot them. Well, I don't know when two wrongs started making a right.
Well, I mean, I remember it was Wayne who said recently that, when he was at work, on one side, you got one character who was saying, oh, hang them all up, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then, a couple of days later, he's looking at Emma Watson, and saying, oh, she's going to be 18 soon. Bloody counting the days off the calendar. I mean, she's going to be legal. It's like, well, why would you even be thinking like that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think there's two things though. The first one is that, I agree with the idea of a sex offenders register in order to monitor people if they are deemed a threat. In other words, that having a system where you can, if someone gets accused of something, and then later on they get accused of it again, that there's a record of that, so it'll show a correlation and show that they could be a threat. Basically, let's keep an eye on them. Keep your eyes open, but not hound them.
Well, I think that we can observe these people and monitor their movement without making that information public.
Yes.
Without forcing them through this process, whereby they have to report themselves to all of their neighbors and say, listen, I've been accused of doing this, I've been tried of doing that, and this is what's happened. So there you go.
I mean, I have heard of instances, not in the UK, but in America, where there's been, you know, a sort of 15-year-old girl, and she's gone with an 18-year-old guy, and they've had sex, and it's been considered, you know, statutory rape, and therefore he's now on the sex offenders register for the rest of his life. Now that's 3 years, which is nothing at that age, you know. Now that seems a little overboard. You know, they're two people consenting. Yeah, probably yeah, they're too young to be having sex. You know.
By the way, do you know the country with the lowest? Oh fuck, I've forgotten that term again. Age of consent in Europe?
No.
Vatican City.
The Vatican City hasn't got one. There's a surprise.
Makes sense.
If your problem is with the 18-year-old winding up on the sex offenders list for having sex with a 15-year-old, then maybe a fix would not be to get rid of the sex offenders list, but to take statutory rape off of the sex offenders list.
Mm.
And leave the fucking pedophiles on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, like violent rapists, the people that it might help to know if they live next door to you. I mean, you know, with your kids walking to school and your wife out jogging and stuff. I mean, maybe I'm simple-minded, but I just, I don't have a problem with the sex offenders list.
Yeah. And well, it comes up to the second one as well, which is I think there should be a lot more help for the victims. You know, I watched it was on the news last night, and it was a guy saying about when he was a kid, he was passed from teacher to teacher. You know, and he said that afterwards it messed him up for years and years and years. You know, he ended up homeless. You know, and it's left children damaged and on drink and drugs to you know, to sort of drown out the past. You know, struggle to keep relationships, things like that. You know, it's the kind of thing that screws up people for years.
Potentially, yeah.
You know, so
I want to correct myself, by the way. The Vatican changed their law in July 2013, so they do now have an age of consent, which is 14 for married females, 16 for married males, and 18 for everyone else.
Okay.
But that's for the last year. Before that, there was no age of consent.
Mm.
Thanks, Vatican.
Yeah. You can see they are improving.
Things are getting better.
Good old Catholics.
The thing about it is, I was looking at some of the data, and it's not just Catholics. You know, it happens all over. And at the end, really, I was almost going to do a Burns thing. I was nearly going to say at the end of the day. When it comes down to it, it's about power.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think anyone's saying it's just Catholics. You know, I think it's only the Catholics who've had an active, or the Catholic Church that's had an active part in covering it all up.
But it's not. It's
not.
Right,
okay.
Many other churches have done this as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry to be so rude and interrupt, but Christopher just sent me a message with what he wanted to say in the conversation before his connection failed on the train. He said, quote, pedophiles and some other sex offenders have been resilient against current efforts for therapy, and the one thing all child molesters have in common, being a victim of child molestation. How does one break the chain?
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know, but I mean, for fuck's sake, we owe it to these people who I view as having an affliction.
Mm.
We owe it to them to try and help them.
Yeah. Don't just condemn them.
Don't just condemn them. Don't look at them and see monsters. That they're not. They're people. They're living, breathing people who have a problem. They have a socially unacceptable behavioral twitch. Something that is abhorrent and dangerous and causes a lot of harm, but that doesn't mean we just get to fucking throw them in the gutter.
It's
help these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's kind of like sociopaths or maybe even psychopaths. You know, that they are human, and, you know, they can make changes.
Right. I mean, just this idea where we just throw up our hands and say, "Oh, I don't know how to help them. I don't know how to fix them. I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know." No, well, you don't know that we'll never know. So we have to try, right?
Do you know though? I'm thinking about it. I'm almost struggling to have any sympathy for them as well, though.
Really?
I know. I'm sort of thinking about it and thinking, it's kind of like they get what they deserve, and I think it is that primal thing in us, that we want to protect our children, the dearest things in our lives. Not that I have any yet,
right.
may do, may not, who knows. But my brother, I've got a little brother. He's 14, nearly 15 years younger than me. And I remember when he was he got beat up at school by kids his own age, and I'm 14 years bigger, and I'm thinking, yeah, I could go down and beat the shit out of them. I'll show them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was because he was my brother. And
oh yeah,
I mean,
I didn't
do
when it comes to kids, it's so hard to stay objective, right? I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's so hard to stay focused and stay objective and sort of even kind of on topic with this because, like, I don't have any kids, but when I was with my ex-girlfriend, a couple of times I would pick up her daughter, who was like 5, 6 years old at the time. There was one occasion where she was playing on the playground. A boy went to catch a football and sort of crashed into her and knocked her on her ass. He wasn't looking where he was going, and it was an accident.
Yeah.
And I watched this happen, and I never wanted to rip the head off of a 5-year-old kid so much in my life. I was looking at this kid like, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even my kid. Like, you know what I mean? This is the protective nature that we have for our children. When it comes to other people, we've got to try and stay objective and see it as a problem that can be solved and that we should try to solve.
Yeah.
Surely the point is it's not being a paedophile, which is morally wrong. It's acting upon it. You can't help who you find you're sexually attracted to, and to prosecute or to revile somebody for what's essentially a thought crime is obviously not correct. But it's when they act upon those urges, that's when you have to have rules against it and take action against it. But
yeah.
Having fantasies, I suppose, if it doesn't hurt anybody else or affect anyone else, then that's nobody else's business, surely.
I would say I would tread, It's
a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, I would tread very carefully on the idea that it's that's not the issue. The issue is acting on it, because people were saying the same thing about gay people. We don't hate the sinner, we hate the sin, kind of a deal. Like, you know what I mean? They were saying exactly the same fucking thing.
Actually, yeah. I have no problem with gays as long as they don't act out being gay.
Yeah, which is kind of, I don't know.
The big difference there is being able to consent to something, and being of a legal age or a maturity to be able to consent to something. The problem with paedophilia or any sort of sexual crime towards a minor is surely the lack of consent.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not that the perpetrator has certain sexual feelings. It's that they act on them against somebody else's will or without somebody else's consent. That's the problem.
But again, this is the old one about what is rape? It's not about sex. It's about power.
In some cases, it's about sex.
In some cases, yeah.
Yeah, but what I mean is, it's about one person's power over someone else.
Sure.
But
an exertion of.
Someone got a weird dog.
It sounds like someone's enjoying this conversation more than they should be. Like, it's okay to go, smart people, good convo and stuff, but this is not the kind of topic you want to be.
Go ahead, Bob.
I never knew the Awesome Crew show could do that to somebody.
Bob, you there? Bob, you with us, or did you time out?
Usually puts me to sleep.
I was never on cam before.
Talking about sexual fantasies, Dee's joined the conversation.
I'm sure you got a better imagination than that, darling.
You don't know what I'm imagining.
Okay.
It involves treacle.
Oh. Are you going to make
I was expecting you to say the I love treacle.
No, I'm more of a syrup person, Miss N.
What, you like wigs?
Oh, God. Oh, mind you, in America, treacle is syrup. Yeah.
What's treacle then?
I don't know. Perhaps they call it molasses. Do they call it molasses? Or black treacle?
Racist.
Racist.
Hey.
Why is the black treacle better?
Gosh. Do you know, I remember...
Well, it depends on what you're cooking. If you're making parkin, you want black treacle.
It's Afro-American treacle.
Sorry, yeah, Afro-American treacle. If you're making parkin, you want treacle. If you're making flapjacks, if you're making flapjacks, you want golden syrup.
Yeah, well, all I know is I don't want any of that Irish treacle.
You know, when Jim said racist, it kind of reminded me of something in the mid-90s, late 90s, something like that. I think it was somewhere like I think it was somewhere like Gloucestershire County Council or something like that.
Gloucester.
They renamed them hotspots because they thought that black spots was racist.
Oh my gosh.
You know, accidents were hot spots. Of course, what does that? Yeah.
Dee, do you have any input on the conversation we were just having regarding pedophilia?
I did not hear any of it, but it's not a good thing in general.
Usually
words of wisdom from Dee there.
Yeah. Dee, her official position on pedophilia is she's against.
Yeah. Overall, not such a good thing. Let's move on. Yeah. Conversation over. Great.
Thanks, Dee.
You're welcome. Well, I think we have to be careful if we're going to vilify paedophiles. You have to bear in mind that the victims might see this and feel worse about having been messed around with somebody who's been vilified as something vile and disgusting and a monster. So I don't think that actually helps the victims. But hey.
Likely doesn't. Likely doesn't. And I think that has to be the
I
primary...
can be quote mined as being a supporter of paedophiles, no doubt.
Oh, jeez, I've given like a half a dozen things that people can quote mine from in this very hangout. It's fine. Who cares? People will talk shit.
Yeah.
And Jim, honestly, he's never going to get over all those bodies under his patio.
I get over them every day when I walk out.
I was going to say you should have laid the patio a bit smoother.
Patio bodies are my favorite kind of bodies.
Apparently, Jim calls it Big Brookside.
Oh dear, that's going back some.
You've been talking about everybody having bodies. I think you're projected.
Yeah, he's trying to draw attention away from
my body.
What's behind the green screen?
Got somebody under
I've got loads of bodies under where I live.
I couldn't fit more than 2 bodies under my patio. I'm not sure I could fit more than 1 actually.
Well, the trick is to bury the first one really deep, and then you can just stack them.
That's true. Yeah, I'd have to stack them.
I've got at least 10 bodies under where I live, at least.
Yeah, but bodies of what?
Well, it's not like
people living under them.
Yeah, I live on the 10th floor block of flats, so you know.
Fucking hell.
Hey.
Hey, Rob. Welcome.
My computer dumped out at me right at a very important moment. When you comment
with pornography.
Yeah. No. When somebody's making the comment where they hear that, that was my son. I got him hooked up on a feeding again, and he's being vocal today. He's severely disabled, and that's what you get out of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's fine. You don't know. You don't know my history, so. Anyways.
I feel awful now.
Yeah,
me too. I've never met you before today. Didn't mean nothing. My apologies.
All right. No, that's fine.
Yeah. I feel like I just kicked a disabled kid.
Well, you kind of just did, but that's okay. We've seen you with Burns.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I think it's more like an accidental stumble over.
Yeah, but in this case, I wasn't doing it on purpose.
Right. It wasn't so much of a kick as more of an accidental stumble over.
Yeah.
It was,
Sky Daddy looks like he ought to be in a medic tent in Korea, doesn't he? Was it Korea?
Are you trying to say you want me to be wounded?
No, he looked like an extra from MASH.
He does.
I get that from all the ladies, no problem. You should get shot in the hip.
No, don't get shot in the hip. I meant as a doctor or a nurse, not as an actual patient.
She wants to bury you under a patio.
Somehow I've got to fool you into digging out for me first.
Baby, tonight you're going in the patio.
You need to dig a hole for the hot tub, yeah?
Tub.
Sorry, I just would you like to see my patio? What's that hole? What's that big hole for? Crump.
You.
Yeah.
Go down and take a look.
What's that big hole for?
Sorry, I'm typing. Someone else has to be entertaining.
We haven't been entertaining.
Entertain you.
Well, I'm going to change the subject. I had the strangest thing happen a week ago.
Strangest than all the other things that have happened to you.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt it was a bit strange.
Sorry, go on.
I've had a problem with an abscess on my tooth, and last week I had the tooth out, and I had this weird, strange feeling of loss over it. You know, it was like.
You remember when we used to chew things together?
Oh, Lenny, that's so sweet.
I mean, I've not lost it completely. It's over there.
You remember the time we had popcorn and there was a kernel stuck under the gum for like 2 days?
It's over there because there's a little shrine to it with candles.
What you should have done, Cliff, is ask the dentist to keep it for you, and then find somebody who makes jewellery, and they could have done something with it for you.
I've got it. I've kept it.
Oh, there you go.
But no, I just ended up afterwards and thinking, gosh, this is a part of me that's no longer a part of me, and just feels wrong, and I just feel there's a bit of me missing, which is my tooth, of course.
You get the same feeling every time you come.
No. No, I don't get that.
Sperms. You were once in my testes, and now you're in the tissue.
Now I'm flushing you down the loo.
The thing about it is,
Moi.
there's millions of me, bits of me gone. Then.
Well, yeah.
You must have been wanking a lot.
I think he was referring to exfoliating.
Talking about the individual semen.
I was talking about the cell. We're all losing bits of us because our dry skin.
Yeah. Talking about all the individual wriggly
things. In fact, aren't we
a
new person like every 18 months or something because the cells regenerate or something like that?
No.
Oh, is that a myth?
This can't be true because Jason Burns has been spat in the same shit for 2 years. He's still the same person.
Yeah, the brain probably doesn't.
There are some. I think you have to get up about 10 years or something for the whole body to be completely replaced, because obviously the atoms in your teeth and bones take a lot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But if most of you will be replaced within a week, basically because most of the water will have been replaced by that time.
But your skin cells as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Micro, you actually are a brain in a vat.
I think Jason Burns gets through skin cells a bit faster than that, though.
Well, his scalp does. He's got a dandruff problem.
Mental image I could do without.
Well, he's head and shoulders shorter than me, so it's appropriate.
Oh, God.
Head and shoulders show.
Yeah. Actually, funnily enough, I did a similar one with Fiona the other day. I was on Meeting the Minds with Chris Mouty, and he referred to her as a wee theist, and and I sort of said, yeah, well, and I said the thing about it is, if she was stood, if she was next to me, you'd just about see the top of her head.
Ah, a wee theist.
Because she is pretty small by comparison to me.
And you're a bit of a monster, aren't you, Cliff? At
I'm
least
not a monster.
tell all the girls.
Yeah, well, Fiona's a teeny tiny little woman, but I love her.
Yes, absolutely.
She's a teeny tiny little firecracker.
She's small, but got a lot of character.
Small but powerful. Wait, that's a
I have vodka shot.
Okay, you're going on the train, are you?
She's just a dynamo in the bedroom as well. You know what's going down. You know what's happening. Come on now. Gonna make it weird.
I can't think of Fiona like that.
I can.
She's probably watching now. She's
I
probably
can't say I
getting
think of her like that.
Well, this conversation sure took a dip.
Let's talk about killing people again then. That seems to be brighten people's day.
Absolutely.
Except for the dead people.
Yeah, they're dead.
Well, yeah, they don't mind. Well, you're dead. I mean, if you make it quick and painless,
It's more of who would I like to shoot today.
Who would I like to shoot today?
It's more like who would I want to sleep in today?
That is the question. That is the question.
Oh, I more have days where I just want to walk around with a stick and hit people. I don't really want to kill them. I just want to make them go, ow! What?
Bloody.
I have days where I know I don't have enough time to hug everybody that I see that I know has something wrong with them that I know a hug would help. I'm like, it's small. It's small. I know a hug would help you. I just can't do it.
Here's a question. Is it possible to do a violent ad hominem attack on anybody?
No.
If you're punching the shit out of someone and saying, by virtue of this beating, your arguments are invalid.
Yes. That'd be it, yeah.
Well, I mean, you could just yell "might makes right" as you're pummeling.
Yeah. There you go.
Rumble
All
in the jungle.
The rumble in the jungle.
Jethro Tull.
So, is this actually going out to YouTube?
Oh yeah, it's happening right now.
How many people are watching?
About 2.
15-ish.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
They can't have much else, then can they, really?
We had 40 during the Awesome Crew show.
Oh, and then I came in and...
Fucking ruined it.
It was alright before that.
Bloody women.
I'll tell you what's ruining this.
Gone through the menopause. I'm not a bloody woman anymore.
The many pause.
Menopause.
Yeah. This is what the menopause does to perfectly normal, rational women.
He's got a brain ache. It can't be perfect and rational at the same time.
Or nice.
True. Far from perfect. And not always rational.
Yep.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well, seeing as how we're boring the whole off of everybody, I'm going to call this show. I'm going to call the show as done. Yeah, I'm bored and I'm fucking done. I'm hosting it. All right. The Naked After Show is brought to you by Lenator and the rest of the Awesome Crew show. Thank you so much for watching, and you're done for the rest of the week. We don't have anything else coming up to promote, so I guess it's just over now.
Ooh, how much money did we collect for the?
We did about $150.
We, I mean, not.
Yeah.
Just.
You say we, I didn't contribute anything.
Don't be such dicks.
150. That's.
The Awesome Crew show pulled in about 150, and the
whole shebang went over $6,000.
Went over $6,000. Thank you, Rob. I'm trying to think of the number.
Yes.
Excellent.
Engineer. Is the window still open for donating?
I believe so. Try.
It is. Pretty sure it is.
Give me something to ignore then.
You're going to be exhausted. You've got so many things to ignore.
Jim, I'm going to call him Jim the Leech. Doesn't give anything, he just sucks everybody else dry.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why I buried them underneath, because I got no blood left.
Just skin, fat, and bone.
Make him sound like he's a fucking gangster. Hey, it's Jimmy the Mooch.
Jimmy the Leech.
Sucks you dry, then buries your skin sack under the patio.
Not before he lays his eggs in your chest.
No! Oh, dear me. Don't worry about what we're talking about, darling. You just carry on looking at the weather on the computer.
Yeah. No, I'm sort of half watching the football.
Half watching the football? That sounds like the best way to watch it.
Well,
not at all would be even better, actually.
You humorless people.
I'm mostly ignoring the football. The only news I get is from people who keep bringing it up.
Yeah, same here.
It's still 0-0, by the way, Cliff.
I still don't care.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I'm still caring by this conversation.
Yeah, I believe I demonstrated how much I cared in the main show.
Oh, I thought it was all over because somebody had like, congratulations, Germany. I'm like, oh, they've won, it's all over. No, I thought they was congratulating them for getting through the semis or something. Listen.
I never get congratulated for getting through a semi.
That's it. Now we are done. Everyone, bye. We're going to stay in this hangout to chat with you guys for a little bit, so feel free to join. The link will stay right where it is. Everyone have a wonderful and safe night.